Anywhere. I'll try to take pictures. I usually sit in the back because I slide down.
No, just if you want to.
Oh, okay. What kind did you grow? Oh. I
we're gonna crank hard, but we'll be ready to rock in October, but I'll get some recommendations on the course of action, probably we would recommend, and there's, like you laid out, there's pros and cons to it, but, we'll lay all that out and give you all a pathway of how I think we can get it funded.
All right, public comments, Mr. Perry.
Mayor, the board. I'm willing to be heard. I come here, I live on Wayne Street. And that's on the east end. I'm here to speak on some issues we have on Wayne Street Playground. And I don't know if you're doing anything about it, but first off, I want to thank the city workers who came and picked up all the trash. We had a cookout out there, they cleaned up. The cookout people cleaned it up, but the city workers came right on time, so nothing was spread out and the cleanup was good. But we did have a few incidences on that playground and its holes that need to be filled up with dirt some kind of way. I don't know how you fill it up. We had one incident where a lady fell in the hole. These things that I'm bringing up are accidents or liabilities, I guess maybe the city would have, if someone would break an arm or get a tooth knocked out. And I just wanted to bring it to your attention. And it's the same way with the basketball court. The concrete is cracking. So I sit up there and I watch the kids run and they'll trip at this one area. So I just ask that you look into that and see that all that is taken care of, because this playground is used often. And they take good care of it, we like to take good care of it, keep it nice for the youth and kids. And I just appreciate if you would come down and just look at these holes. I won't nobody tripping, won't have no broken legs, no teeth missing or anything like that. The city won't be liable for any of this stuff. Now, my second issue is Catstoria's Garden on the north side of Grand Street Bridge. I met with the Satterfield, Trayvon, and Cecil back in, it must have been in the spring. And she had mentioned putting up a metal bench, metal table, a metal trash can, and a bridge. Now, we didn't have no input on it until I came to that meeting, so I was in disagreement with it, but I did go back to the neighborhood and I talked to them. They was in disagreement with it also. But first, with the bridge, and she says that has been a place to play. But we got a playground down there, we don't need no bridge. Then the trash cans, will they use? And the bench, maybe they could use the bench, sit out there to watch, wait on the bus and they come back. But all this was things that wouldn't last. And I brought up the suggestion to Trayvon and Cecil, why not use what you see right here coming off the bridge? It doesn't have to say Bluefield. It could say East End. But you see where the flowers are? When I was on beautification committee back in the 80s, we spent almost $1,000 on flowers. Now with all the deer, and you see all the food we're feeding the deer. So it'll give you less. And with the rocks, by the East End being having so much diversity over there, with all the people that was there that dealt with rock. That was back in 1908, that's what the brick said that I have. When this was all built, that brick, it's 1908 up under this blacktop. This would represent everyone who has ever lived on that side of town. The north side, whichever way you want to look at it, or the east end. So we would like to see if we could get a sign, going like that. Don't have to be no big ones, but you got one on each part of Bluefield when you enter. That would be uniform to the whole city. That means that the city would be as one. We'll all be one with a marker like that. And I just wish that you would take that under consideration. when the beautification committee comes to you. And it was brought to my attention that the neighborhood would like to have some flower pots. If you got 4 lights, even if it was a flower pot at each light, the unified or 3 in the close, but this was the main thing. And my understanding is the rock man is sick. But it might be another rock man who would do it. The rock is here, tear down another wall. You've already got some stone. It's no cost with stone if you do, we tore down a whole block. I'm quite sure you did the backer stuff. So I appreciate you taking that time, listening to what I had to say.
Thank you.
You look at it.
And I would just say, based off our discussion with Mr. Terry and some of the other feedback, with Gail, that's the pathway we're on. That's what we're going to do in that area, based off the feedback from the community. So she's working at now, Mr. Terry. So, that's what we're going to get there for you.
All right, thank you.
And then, the park and the playground, we'll go look at it. We'll talk parks here in a second. We are, neck deep in park reconstruction. There's a lot of them. We got Hardy Street and East River. They're the next up in the hopper. We'll talk about those in a second. Had a great park opening yesterday, so we'll look at that as well.
All right, Ms. Valentine.
First of all, good evening to everybody. Good evening to the board. I'm here on behalf of Recovery Point. That's my first thing I'm gonna talk about. Then I'm gonna make it brief, and I have another issue I'm gonna talk about, not very easy. But this is about Recovery Points, and they are giving back to the city, and I realize that. But right now, I'm speaking up for them because I call them my guys. I have been in their life for about a year, ever since they came into Bluefield, and I love them. They know I love them. They love me. It's about 7 of them. And what my point is, they really need help with some things. I don't know. I know that I read where you all tapped into codes and you were able to get some equipment. But maybe you all can find out some other way to help them. Someone had told me that they had asked you all in the past and you refused. I don't know about that. But if you can help them, because everywhere they go, they have to walk in the rain. They walk from here over to Trinity in the rain. Now, I'm not bragging about what I do, but if you say you love someone, you make sure that they're okay. So there have been some people that have helped me in the past with some needs, and we were able to get umbrellas for them some months ago. And also one person got sick from walking in the rain in the coldness. And every year I make sure they have coats and they need that nice coats. But what I'm saying, and then, like I say, people help. But that's the first thing that they need. And then they had an outing a couple of months ago, and they had different cars, had to take them. That's a lot of trips for the, for someone from the center to have to take them back and forth. And I know that you all say that their work is free, but like I say, they my guys. But whenever they have me, I tell them, I can't pay you for your word, but I give them a few dollars to show them that I care for them. And also they want for any time. I mean, I think they don't let them go for me, and I'll leave it at that. When they really can't go anywhere else, but they are very ready to help me. And like when they told me at the center, they said it's all kinds of talent there, and it is. I've seen the work that these guys do, and they work it to me. And I am going to, and like if someone, I feel, and you all may not agree, it's fine, but if someone has money and they're helping them, if they want to give them a few dollars, why not? I mean, the only thing some of them have is from what they're getting at the center. Some of them don't have $1 to go down to the Dollar General or Hardee's or somewhere and get something to eat. And when I ask for help, I just don't get the same person. I'll ask for someone else so that maybe the persons that are helping will be able to have a few dollars too. And they'll tell me sometimes, Miss Valentine, you don't have to give us something. We're glad to get out the building, or we're able to help you. But if I'm blessed, I can't pay their worth. But to show them they are worth something to me, that's what I do. So that's what I'm asking the board to think about what you all can do to help them. I'm gonna meet with them this evening, and I want to hear what you all got to say right now. You know, what you can or cannot, what I can say to them when I talk to them this evening. You may not can think that quick, that we have an answer. But I do want you to take that into consideration. That's the first thing, and I'd like to hear from somebody else. All of you out there.
Well, man, what I'll say, I work with Travis every day, so we talk all the time. As far as transportation, we move around with our transit buses. If there's a special event that they need to get taken to, we can absolutely work with transit. John's been phenomenal getting them from A to B. I got pictures in here of some of the work they did last week, kicking off the program. Getting buses, Travis has not brought that up to me, or vans. We can talk about it. I can't promise that that's something we can do, but I'll absolutely look into it. I do know, and Curtis was taken around the first time. We have tried to look at donations for Recovery Point, not necessarily to pay the individual, but pay the organization, because we're putting up a new awning. And I know there's some other stuff inside the Salvation Army that Travis is trying to do and get things done. But we have full support. I've got former Recovery Point employees that work in our city that are in our public works. So you'll have no bigger fans of them than the folks sitting here on the board and the folks that work in the city. We've got quite a few that are under our public works right now. So really, all Travis needs to do is bring it to my attention and stuff he needs help with. But we can't do everything for everybody, but we will do our absolute best, because they are, as you can see in the photos, they made a huge change in our community last week. A couple of these people that needed some assistance. So I appreciate you bringing them up, because I love them as much as you do. And they're doing great stuff for us.
Well, I know they certainly are, and I had talked to Travis anyway, before I came to you all, because I don't like to go over someone's head and do something. So when I asked him about this, he told me, go ahead. But it would be good, I'm glad to, he know that they maybe, say, for example, on the weekends, if they did have some outings, would transportation be available for them? Say, for example, like at that picnic they went to?
Yeah, I'll have to talk with John, man, but it's something we can try to figure out. I mean, our transit is phenomenal. Reverend Tucker back there, we took his kids where they needed to go on a case by case basis. We can do some of that now. We can't do it all the time, but as long as there's enough lead time planning and I can work it with John, we do tons of events in the entire county, down in McDowell, where folks need some assistance getting around. So we're happy to try to look at that and try to do it.
Well, and one other is, I'm gonna just say one more thing about this. What I'm saying is, I know sometimes people have access to grants that many people don't know about, because I don't. And they're able to get what they want. And say, for example, when, you all were able to, tap into the coal situation, that's what I was saying. Maybe even if they may not can use the city transportation, they still would actually need some, transportation on their own, like I said, the way that they have to walk in the rain. And I know some things you have to do and you have no choice. But I'm going to leave it at that. And the next thing I'm going to speak of is when we were here at the stormwater. I'm going to use my building as an example of what I'm getting ready to talk about, and then the balance and all that getting and understanding, so you'll understand what I'm saying. My building, now I'm going to talk about it first, then I will get to the point I'm saying. It's 19 rooms there, and it is a historic building. And from the water damage, it was damaged from the roof all the way down. So out of the 19 rooms I've had to repair, it's still a work in progress. 16 of those rooms where it damaged some ceilings and some of the walls and some of the floors. And to get to that, what I'm trying to say is this, and I've had to improvise now. I had no help with this. Now, someone told me that at the Blue Spoon, that the Restoration Committee put their system in. Now, I don't know about that, but my point is, if the restoration did, I had this work done on my own. So when we were here at the last meeting, when the stormwater, if I'm correct now, y'all can correct me, wanted a $400,000 building, I am talking about the monies that, for example, it may not seem like $5 much to you all. But what I'm saying, with what I've had to do and still doing in this building, I've had to do competitive prices, run from one store to the next to see what is the best. So what I'm saying, each dollar that I've had to spend and still have to spend is adds up to me. So what my point is, if I can improvise, I've got tables sitting outside my building now where they were damaged from the cold weather, where it's for scrap. And tables are not expensive, nice chairs that rusted outside the building, so I've had to improvise. And I'm not gonna say what I put in there till you come in and look when you get ready to eat and you say, Miss Valentine, this year is different. So my point is for the stormwater, if I had to improvise, then if they want a $400,000 building, if I'm correct, why can't they do some improvising? And I didn't have a choice because I didn't have the funds to do all of this, but what I've done is creative and imaginative. So that's what I'm saying with the money that we have to, every bit goes for something. And I thank you all for listening, but that's my point. Somebody told me to have a GoFundMe for my roof. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing a GoFundMe because the bottom line is this: the God I serve is going to help me put a roof on top of it. But also for He'll help me with everything that building. He'll send all kinds of help, even the guys at the center. They'll help me push, put, and move a 500 to 600 pound stove a couple of weeks ago. Good help that I could not have pushed and pulled, but I am thankful for all the help that I've had to use with the monies that I've had. So what I'm saying, when the stormwater wants us to pay for this and that, I ask you all to take into consideration the monies that we have to use and what we have to use it for too. If there's another option and another way that this could be done.
Thank you, Mr. Allen.
You're welcome.
I apologize, I'm not on your agenda, but you did say concerns, and I have a concern. My concern is, since we'll be talked about potholes, I'm still asking, this has been 6 or 8 months or more that I've asked different ones, different departments. I've always been told I'm asking the right person, but beside our church at Scott Street, right, going up Yaki, there are 2 large potholes that I have to go past every day because I live up in that area. And I'm asking, would please somebody help me? I hate to say this, but this morning I went a different way, leaving my house, going down the street towards Sacred Heart Church. There was a pothole there and in the field. And there's a jug sitting right beside it so nobody would hit it. Now, why can't you fill our holes? Somebody. Thank you. That's my concern.
All right.
That's me.
Okay, I'm Rebecca Perry and I'm following up from Willie Perry. And I don't know whether he mentioned around the swings and the slide board at the White Street Playground. But anyway, they were putting up a black fence. It's just a short fence around. And I was wondering, were you gonna finish that or leave it as it is? You know, where they put mulch and stuff so the kids, when they slide, it'll go down.
You mean the border?
Yes,
Border,
yes.
they're putting on next.
Yeah, they're gonna
They had
fix.
someone quit in the Parks and Rec department. So they're short on staff. They do have the rest of it to finish.
Oh, okay.
We're also waiting for mulch to arrive.
Oh.
So there's more, it's more than one part that's being corrected right now.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, thank you all. Let's see, the motion to approve the board of directors meeting on July 23rd, 2024. A motion is a second. Any questions, comments, or revisions? All in favor of approval, signify by saying aye. Right. New business, approval of first reading of an ordinance to amend certain sections of part 2 Code of Ordinances of the City of Bluefield, Chapter 34, street sidewalks and other public properties.
Mr. Mayor, last fall, the board amended, this ordinance in an attempt to address primarily, utility digging up our street, ways, sidewalks and driveways, and how they went about the process of doing it and how they
repaired and restored, matters that were dug up. So with, the two engineers out, Curtis's Health, Cecil and I have put together an about 40 pages that deals specifically with a lot of the details involved. They address the utility, install new utility and replacement their existing utilities. This manual, this ordinance adopts that handle and replace the less detailed ordinance that the city passed last fall. So this is just first reading of that. It's something also admits the city engineer and the city manager from time to time it's necessary by circumstances to tweak the specs on utilities and your digging and replacing the streets and sidewalks and places. Do we have this man? The manual is dead. We have not. It's 70 or 80 pages. The so you certainly provided if you'd like to see.
Well, I mean, before we pass an ordinance, I'd like to see what we're passing. So, I mean,
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. We did not, do the work on it late last night.
so I think we're a little premature then. I'd like to entertain a motion to table the approval of the ordinance that in certain sections of part two code of ordinances of the city of Bluefield, chapter 34, streets, sidewalks, and other public properties. So a motion and a second. Questions or comments? On favor, signify by saying aye. Thank you.
Glad that we're for next meeting.
Thank you. Approval of transit, drug, and alcohol testing policy.
Yes, sir. Every 2 years, the state hires experts to review the drug and alcohol testing policy of all the banking systems in the state. That review included ours this year. They have made recommendations to modifications to drug and alcohol manual to comply with the federal transit administration requirements. The way the manual is written, these are to be approved by the city board. So they're essentially dictated to us by the federal government, and it's a modification of the existing rules and regulations that we abide by now. Once again, that it's out of the 60-page document, you do not have any materials in it, but we'd like to see that.
I would do that.
Yeah, what do you do?
Yeah, the last things that we're doing that was without you.
Okay.
This is last year's, so what changes or?
There are red line changes about how you do breathalyzer
Yeah, I
tests.
think I like this in those.
Okay, we'll do that. Anything to add, John?
No, that's it. It was mainly the addition of testing with the oral swab. That's what was added.
So the red line changes are in one section only or?
No, they made red line changes throughout. Yeah, we have track changes, or track change versions, so we provide them.
Okay, so that. All right, motion to table approval of transit drug and alcohol testing policy. So motion and a second. Any questions or comments? All in favor, signify by saying aye. All right, approval of the purchase of a skid steer.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, at the end of last month, the Public Works Department received monies from Cole Foundation for purchase of skid steer attachments in the amount of $30,060. Per due diligence, we sent out to bid beginning to list for them. We have received 3 invoices. Car Machinery has done 2 pieces of the equipment, a hydraulic angle power rake and a brush cutter. Cutter price $24,112. Bobcat Tazewell did the same 2 pieces of equipment, $28,696. And then we went with an online bid where we researched the same pieces of equipment online, and they're actually $35,175. The reason online ones are high, of course, is shipping, bringing them in to us. Upon review by Public Works Director and City Treasurer is recommended to accept Carter Machinery's bid. Carter Machinery, is a local company. They meet all the specifications. They're the low bidder, and they also are the person who purchased our last season.
This was already approved prior to the freeze.
That's all paid for by the whole foundation.
Yeah, this is all with money from Coal Foundation, so we're all good.
All right, motion to approve the purchase of the skid steer from Carter Machinery in the amount of $24,112. So motion and a second. And 2 seconds. It's like, and Danny wins. And any questions or comments? All in favor of approval, signify by saying aye. Thank you. All right, approval of the recommendation of the planning commission for a PUD for the Hotel Thelma project for apartments at OS Rock.
Mayor, this is for the project. This was passed at the last planning commission for the Hotel Thelma. Of course, Brian Tracy's a part of that. But the lead on the development of the Hotel Thelma nonprofit, and that is give us the flexibility to do the senior assisted living with mixed retail in that neighborhood.
There's also, is this up here?
That was just something different. I just wanted you to see that, Mayor.
All right, sounds good. All right, do I have a motion to approve the recommendation of the planning commission for a PUD for Hotel Thelma? Of a motion from Trayvon, second from Peter. Any questions or comments? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Awesome, thank you.
And Ryan, just as the background on that project, talked to Brian today, and the nonprofit is with Brian are working through. We should be there Thursday. There's a civil rights grant about $500,000 that we're working on as well to hopefully help with this project.
All right, financial report, Nate.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. At the close of July 2024, which is the first month of our new fiscal year, revenues collected total $1,499,336, or 13.06% of the projected amount of $11,480,896. Expenditures total $1,185,933, or 8% of the projected budget of $14,934,977. Second quarter B&O is still being processed. However, as of the end of the month, we have reported $495,746 up again this year. Sales tax was $340,537. Those revenue numbers. Payments for July included $43,873 in property purchases and $69,225 for the fourth quarter allocations to our new insurance provider. The city also released the final payment to Reverend Tucker, who spoke earlier in regards to the mountain acres for their summer program. Payment total $12,323 for transit, $24,199 for the city, and we give all of the first quarter contributions, including library, the CBB, Region 1, Transit, VITA, and the baseball system. There were 2 regular payrolls and we processed clothing allowances for fire, police, and code enforcement all in July. Those totaled $743,265. And pending any questions, that's my report for July.
Thank you. Thank you. I have a motion to approve the July financial report as presented. Motion in a second. Any questions or comments? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Reported city manager.
All right. Yeah, I think I'll do real quick all the time. So I brought in a guest hitter, much more eloquent than I am, but I thought it would be important for the community and the board that it's Kevin's going to give you a quick rundown of kind of a lot of the activities that took place this summer in the city. So I think you're going to find if someone says there's nothing going on for kids, you may need to say you're not looking hard enough. So Catherine, would you please?
Sure. I think we had a great summer with kids. The Wade Center had a summer program. They're serving more the elementary school age kids. They served about 20. Cavalry served 15 to 20. Mount Zion, when I was at Community Connections, we had a summer day camp, a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday program. We served 43 kids day 1, 45 day 2, and 52 on Friday. Drumline, consistently about 20 kids. Scott Street Church did a vacation Bible school. I had 40 kids in attendance. Fit Rex running programming, you had 10 to 15 kids for your big events.
Well, no, most of the adventure programs are 12 max and most of them were filled up. Dance, take a little bit more, I'm sure those numbers. Swim camp, we got camp just about every week this summer.
Camp Mariposa, which is a program of the Illumina Network, it's Mercer County. They do a program, the traditional camp experience for kids that have been impacted by substance use disorder. They're serving about 16 kids annually. Project Yes, a project of CASE. They did a basketball camp this summer at the rec on Stadium Drive. They maxed out at 130 kids. They had to turn kids away. Hopefully they'll think about doing 2 camps next summer. The Granada Theater had a program, about 25 kids attended that. Craft Memorial has a vibrant program, different things for kids all summer, book club, knitting, chess club. They're serving 10 to 15 kids each time. And then a friend of mine out of Oakville does a youth hiking program. They were at Bluefield City Park last weekend. They serve about 15 to 20 kids at each hike. And then WVU Extension has a 4-H program, I think one of the largest in the state. They're serving 300 plus kids annually, and they're doing an after-school program at the intermediate school and the middle school.
So I think it's a very quick rundown, but I think it just gives you a quick snapshot. Kind of highlights what we talked about at the beginning of this meeting with just thanking the churches and everybody that participated, but we got a lot of great citizens here. They're trying to make stuff happen for our kids, and it was a good summer. We need to do better, and we'll continue to grow and expand. But I think the board for certain, and a lot of great churches in our city, we got the message. We're trying to do stuff for these kids, and we'll show you some more of that here. But believe me, that has resonated. It's loud and clear, and we'll do our best to keep improving and give these kids some opportunities to do some great stuff. So thanks, Catherine, for that rundown. Okay. Go ahead, John. All right, scroll down a little, John. Take me where that video is at. Yeah, put that video pointer real quick. Everybody just kind of bask in this for a second. So that's probably one of my greatest days in Bluefield. That was yesterday, our playground opening. That wasn't even full tilt. That was at noon. This is the new playground, which is one of the best in the state that our kids have down here. That was a massive effort. I really appreciate the board having the courage to go forward and put this together. I really appreciate the Parks and Rec and Public Works and everybody that made this thing possible. But we had a great day out there at noon, and the thing was, I left at about 1:50, and it was still packed, and there was still about a 200-foot long line trying to get snow cones. Right off the side, you saw some photos of it, is the 40-yard dash, and of course, we're on a glide slope to put in a splash pad next summer. So don't think we're not tracking what needs to be done at these parks and all the desires. It's big work to get all this stuff done. So in the hopper, if you go out to Hardy Street Park right now, you can see the foundation's been put in, new fencing. That foundation will have a shelter, have a bathroom come in. The courts are done. We got to upgrade the basketball hoops. So this is all being done, and that's a hodgepodge of stormwater guys trying to do that, Public Works guys trying to do that, and Parks and Rec guys trying to do that. When I talk about those 3 departments, what we're talking about is about 34 people, all told. So there's on an arsenal and some recovery points, folks that come out and help us too. I left those guys out. But there's a lot going on in the city to address all the needs that we have out here. But those are some pictures of the pickleball courts, right? Been pushing for those. We had kids out there. We probably about 60, 70 members of the community, and I think it was packed all through last night. And we got a huge pickleball tournament for our kids in United Way coming up Beaver Graham Week. So there's a lot going on. There's a lot of massive work. We have a world-class playground now. Thanks to all you citizens, and thanks to the board here having the courage to make it happen. But we are getting stuff done. I just need your patience to keep working with us and have faith in the system. We're going to get there, right? But it's a lot. We got a big lift. $17 to $20 million just to fix stormwater on the tree streets. That money ain't gonna fall from the sky. That's gonna be some blood, sweat, equity, of a lot of hard work, and to get us there to get that thing. So I hear you loud and clear. The board does too, but we'll figure it out. That's what we're paid to do, and we're gonna do it. But we got some big bills up the road to get us where we gotta be, but we'll get there. And I really encourage the churches, the community, beat up Rick, rent those shelters, and get out there to that park. I was out there Sunday before the grand opening and it was pretty active there. There were some bootleggers in on the thing, but it was all good. The kids were having a good time out there and rocking and rolling, so it was great. I'll let Jim talk this a little bit. This is just a map for downtown and I think everybody can see the great work being done under Jim's leadership with the demo, but any updates, Jim, you wanted to give to the demo and the rallying downtown?
No, they, when they originally started the lane closure, they were hoping it'd be 60 days, and we're still, last I heard from them, on schedule for that to be, so it should be coming in pretty soon. As you can tell, the guns are basically down, but there's still a lot of cleanup work to be done.
It looks great. Okay, school for me, John. Again, the text.my.gov, I know I hit this every board meeting, but I would ask you again, we've got the flyers out front. Please sign up for this. This is for the community. To let you know about all the events, like the playground opening yesterday and the pickleball court openings, big events we have coming up. We announce things for other things that aren't city related. It's kind of carte blanche. If Bluefield State has an activity they want us to advertise, we advertise. If the high school has something, if a church has a big event, we're happy to advertise that as well. And it's a quick shot into your system. I love it. Honestly, it helps remind me. I forget stuff too, and I'll see something on a Saturday at 1 o'clock and an event starts at 4. Oh man, it triggers my family. We get up off the couch and we go take part in the event. It's great. All the stuff, the Granada, Bart's going. It's just a really great system. And it also gives you information on road closures, projects going on in the city, so you know what's up and to keep you on track. But it's a really, really great system. And it really, really will keep you informed, and it's a nice way to help quarterback your weekends and evenings for different activities that are great going on in the city. Keep going, please. Keep going for me, John. Rick, you want to hit some of the highlights on Parks and Rec?
Sure, yeah. So, you see some photos of one of the camps that, we ran. This is fairly new. It's this splash, camp, and kids went. Some of these kids repeated, but this was the splash camp. Keep going. We also had the swim team that performed at the North Carolina Reeve Center. That's the swim team, their head coach. We actually had a gold medalist in one of the events, competing with 7 other teams in North Carolina and Virginia. So one of these youngsters actually won first place out of all the kids at the conference. And all of them got participation medals, and many of them had other ribbons, so second, third, sixth place, or whatever the case was. A lot of fun, and they actually are going year round. So this program is trying to keep up with some of the bigger programs around that they swam against, and they've already started back up, and we hope to continue to grow the swim team. Cecil's already mentioned the grand openings. They were terrific. It was an incredible event. I've been very fortunate in my career to be a part of some significant projects that opened. And I can tell you this was probably as close and dear to my heart as any, is seeing the kids down at City Park and knowing what it's like when I got here and then seeing what they have now. It is improving the quality of life. It will improve the people that come to live in our city and those that want to stay. So I'm glad to be a part of this, a part of the team that made it happen. The splash pad opening in 2025, that we're very close to hopefully getting that signed and in regard to the RFP that we have. We're working towards that, and you'll see that next summer. So I think it'll be just as big. This is just a train that that's running. We actually had rides yesterday, and they had over 300 rides. It was free, and that's probably why we had over 300 riders, but it was nonstop. And that was a short day because normally we're open 12 to 6 and it was 12 to 4. They're not showing any photos here, but Mitch with Cunningham and Associates donated the ice snow cones. I didn't get one because the line was too long, but they had free snow cones down there yesterday too. These things were humongous. It was a really good day. Train ran all day. Keep going. It's the grand opening that we already talked about. Ribbon cutting. Alicia Smith's there in the middle. She was a part of the very first one that was built there about 20-some years ago. And she came to me probably the first week of the job and said, "Hey, can we get this park, playground redone?" The courts were full, as Cecil said. And it's just a tremendous day. I know there's other concerns in the city and in the different parks and stuff. And believe me, they're on the radar. And I will say if there's a pothole somewhere and on my grass, I do want to know about it. So my number's in the book. FitRec is where my location is. Call me immediately. I guarantee you I'll be looking into that because I don't want that. And we are looking at other improvements in the city. The playground borders that you're seeing, we were short some of the pieces. That's the reason they actually just came last week. And then we got the mulch that we're waiting to come through. But we have more work to do and can't fix it all at once. I mean, city basketball courts are in bad shape too. It's on my radar. But you know, I only got so much money to deal with, but we are working on a big project and making a lot happen. You have heard me say this before, but if you are not at all the board meetings, we've got a shelter going in over at Party Park. We've got a bathroom going in there. And then also on Augusta Street at East River Park, we've got the playground's getting redone there too in terms of the mulch, but we have a bathroom going in there as well. Can't put those in every park, can't put those in every one of the facilities all over the place, but we're definitely trying to spread things around. So my number's in the phone book, 304-325-5707, extension 4. Call me anytime you see a problem, and I'll try to my best to make it right. Thank you.
Thanks for Curtis. You want to do the public works?
Please here, and everybody knows after the grand opening, I think it was a culmination of a lot of hard work by a lot of great individuals, and a lot of teams all together. You can see these few pictures here. You got Cody on the left, the folks from Parks and Rec, painting the curb stops. You got two of my guys, Stormwater, that had just raced down a 4-yard dash. So whoever won got a $1 raise. I beat them both, so nobody got a raise. And then we had a little bit of asphalt. We had a patch back there after we took the excavator to get all that mud out of the playground to initialize. But there's a lot of other work that happened too. Like Rick mentioned and the Valentine mentioned the guys from Recovery Point helped up at the stadium, getting the pressure off, getting ready for the Grand Beaver game. They've done a lot of stuff. The Recovery Point grass cutting program that we've got kind of evolved out of Surrey Hill. It went phenomenal from what I hear. I went around with them the first day, the representative Jordan, and we kind of, did a light touch of each of the applicants just to see what they had to do, what they would like done. And then they got the 3 of them last Tuesday, and I believe they'll be servicing 2 more tomorrow. But it showed up great. We got a wonderful trailer. Scroll down for me a little bit. There's actually a link. You can see the trailer there. We got it outfitted with weed eaters, lawnmowers, gas cans. Recovery Point even brought out pressure washers and some other stuff that they have their own to try to add to the trailer. So it went really well. We had a cleanup. We brought the dump truck out and we did a pickup. So we'll just be sitting there on the brush. We'll be sitting on the side. I think it's a good program. I think we work real well together. And I look for its longevity and everything else that can come with it. This is a really, really large undertaking. What you're seeing in those 3 pictures there is the stone walls along Princeton Avenue. What you see on the right is what they look like before, very dark, dingy, and black, and it looked like they just got laid on the left. They look brand new. The guys have done really hard work. It's probably almost a week and a half. If you drive down there, they've been hard after it. In the rain, not in the rain, they've been going and getting after it, trying to get this done. We still got a couple more days of it left, but it's the small things like this that nobody really has on their radar that makes Bluefield as beautiful as Bluefield really is. Scroll for me, I think that's it. But y'all have any questions?
Mayor, come on down.
Yes, sir. So Small Business Saturday is coming up, and you say, well, that's in November, that's, several months off, but as fast as time is going, it's hard to believe we're knocking on the door of September. We're gonna try to start a little bit earlier this year because we'll be missing Faith this year. She is expecting her first child during that time, so we're trying to get as much done before she is gone. One of the things we're wanting to focus on, if you look at the bottom right, look local first. And we'd like to start pushing that, not only just on Small Business Saturday, but other opportunities. A lot of times folks are very quick to go on Amazon and other things like that, but start looking at what is being sold locally, especially here in Bluefield, that we can support our local businesses. We will continue to do, back to that in just a second. There's been several people talk about the youth, and that's very important. I was blessed to have 4 children. The youth entrepreneurship pop-up, last year we had 7 children that were 12 and under that had their own little business. Every one of them, Trayvon, sold out, you've seen them, and they were at the library. We're going to do that again. So any of the programs that deal with youth, that are interested in youth entrepreneurship, we'd love to work with them. That's another reason to start early because we want to help them with their sales pitch and other things like that. So anything we can do. Some last year had artwork, some were doing bracelets, things like that, that they can come up with their own little business. We would love to support and work with you on that as well. We do have a class coming up Thursday night at our place, and I think it's at 6:30, and it is in QuickBooks 102. A lot of our businesses use QuickBooks, but Dickie Johnson told me he serves on the library board down in McDowell County, and it was taking them 4 hours to do their payroll for just a handful of people. So it's groups like that that can attend either in person or by Zoom or watch the video that we have. So anybody you know that's using QuickBooks that needs a little bit of help, we'd love to have them. And Lauren will be teaching that, who does the work for Considerable. So one of the things that we see for the future, and part of the project speed is doing is not just today, but what's going to happen in the future. And we've talked a little bit about industrial off-site construction. And so we're working with Virginia Tech, and you see the groups at the bottom, Ohio University and different ones. And so recently we hosted a meeting, then we were at Virginia Tech on the 26th. And some of the things that they're doing is going over, this was the agenda for the meeting. And you see where all the different meetings were: Morgantown, North Carolina, Pittsburgh, PA, Knoxville, Tennessee, Huntington, West Virginia, Prestonburg, Kentucky, and Marietta, Ohio. We want to bring as many of these things to Bluefield as we can. So here's the region that they're looking at this. West Virginia is the only state in the 13 states for Appalachian region that is entirely in the region, the whole state. And so when you start looking at some of the common themes, is education and training, policy and regulation, framework, marketing awareness, financing, funding, and technology and innovation. So looking at the construction industry, it's $2 trillion this year. Look at 2050. It's going to basically double to 4.5 trillion. And so one of the things that we're working on, and I'm going through quickly, is we need a robust workforce. We've got a lot of folks that represent youth. What can we do to help them transition to know what careers are available and what skill sets they need? I don't think you need to wait till you're senior in high school to start thinking about what's your future. I think we need to start earlier, middle school age, and expose them to career opportunities in various things. And this is a demand occupation. And so we would love to partner with folks, and we continue to push on these kind of things. We mentioned the 400 block. The architect was in last week, Mayor, he's trying to take pictures back towards from the corner down at Raleigh back so he can do the rendering with the buildings gone to see what it will look like with the parking stuff he's laid out. So that's a work in progress. It's down now low enough that he hopefully got some good pictures prior.
Well, because estimated completion time.
I'm pushing it. He's tired of talking to me, but I've got a potential out, but I don't have the rendering. Okay. So any questions, please let us know. Follow us on our social media platforms, especially with the training programs that we have. We still continue to push the Entrepreneurs Boot Camp. Thus far, we've had over 366 individuals take classes on that Entrepreneurs Boot Camp since we started in 2020. That's it, Mr. Mayor. Unless there's any questions.
Thank you. Any questions for them? Anything else?